Since the death of General Secretary Yuri Andropov earlier this year, power in the Kremlin has fractured. In the vacuum, Marshal Nikolai Ogarkov, chief of the General Staff and architect of Soviet military doctrine, has emerged as the dominant force behind the Politburo's curtain. Frustrated by economic stagnation, declining influence in Europe and perceived NATO encirclement, Ogarkov has seized the reins of the Soviet military and security apparatus. Backed by hardliners in the KGB and Ministry of Defense, he now operates with near-dictatorial authority, overriding civilian moderates. Ogarkov has long argued that nuclear war is unwinnable, but a conventional first strike might secure a swift strategic victory before NATO can respond. In secret war games earlier this year, Ogarkov tested a plan to decapitate NATO's northern flank, seize Finland, Sweden and Norway, lock NATO out of the Norwegian Sea, and threaten the GI-UK gap. Western reinforcements would be delayed and NATO cohesion shattered. Soviet naval forces would break into the Atlantic. The plan was approved by a select faction of the Politburo under the guise of defensive counterpressure. Tensions between NATO and the Soviet Union have now escalated, with increased Soviet naval and air activity reported across the Baltic and North Seas. At 04 June 1984, NATO activates Task Force Lynx in the Kattegat Strait, approximately 25 nautical miles northeast of Skagen, Denmark. The task force includes USS Texas, USS Elliott, HMS Nottingham, FGS Lutyens, and HMS Courageous. Texas and Elliott were originally en route to Europe for scheduled NATO exercises, but an urgent shift in posture prompted their diversion. In recent weeks, Soviet air and naval forces have adopted a markedly aggressive stance, probing into contested waters and shadowing NATO vessels across the region. Intelligence suggests that these maneuvers may be part of a broader shift in Soviet doctrine, a more assertive, possibly preemptive strategy shaped by Marshal Nikolai Ogarkov, now believed to be the consolidating power within the Kremlin. Reports of Soviet submarine incursions into Swedish waters, combined with unusual troop concentrations in the Leningrad and Kaliningrad regions, have alarmed Nordic and NATO defense planners. Denmark, Sweden, Finland and Norway have increased their maritime patrols amid growing concerns that the USSR may be preparing for operations beyond intimidation. The Kattegat Strait is a vital NATO-controlled sea lane, forming a gateway between the Baltic and North Seas. It is also a potential flashpoint. Operating under Operation Odin's Shield, the task force mission is to monitor Soviet naval and air movements and, if necessary, interdict to protect Swedish, Danish and Norwegian maritime interests. The situation is volatile. Diplomatic channels are quiet. Ogarkov's next move is unknown. This may be the final calm before the storm. Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to Sea Power. Hope you enjoyed that intro. I put quite a lot of work into that. So, what is the situation that we find ourselves in with this scenario? Well, we are looking at some Soviet incursions into Swedish territory. Submarine incursions. We are first going to rendezvous with another ship, and that is where we're going to right now, the rendezvous zone. So we're in control of Task Force Lynx. We're going to wait for our rendezvous and basically do not much beyond establishing surveillance. We're not to shoot anything, we're not to blow anything up yet, we're just to rendezvous with K&M Narvik. Then we are to observe and report, and interdict if hostile action is observed. Whether that hostile action is towards me or towards neutral shipping is unclear at this point. We are to maintain close contact with NATO command and avoid escalation unless necessary for defense of of NATO or neutral shipping. So it can be either. Now, what do we have? We have the Texas. Texas is an AA warfare ship, although it can also do limited anti-submarine as well as anti-ship warfare. We have harpoons on her and Tomahawk land attacks. We have the Lutyens, the German destroyer capable of intercepting any missile really, throwing out harpoons, throwing out torpedoes. Unfortunately, no helicopters. Nottingham, the British Type 42 Sheffield class. She has a helicopter aboard, the Lynx, also known as Queen 1. I really like that. There was a custom squadron created for this one. And then Elliot over here, the Elliot DD967. She's going to be launching her Sea Sprite. I don't know what we can expect yet. We do have a bunch of contacts around, and we are at the moment a bit deaf and blind, because I don't actually have any radars on. So any units that we're picking up are just getting picked up by own electronic signals measurement, and that means that we have a vague understanding of where they probably are. Except, of course, for units that we can visually see, but at this point there aren't any. So what I'm going to do, Queen 1 is going to go up there and serve as a radar picket. So she's going to go up. She's going to go to 3,000 feet, and I can turn her radar on basically right now. Yes, there is something to be said for MCON, but, you know, it's not like the AI actually goes, oh, there's the enemy, without you getting detected. And I've not actually seen them launch ship missiles or anti-ship missiles in the direction of a radar contact or a radar EM emission. So I'm not that worried about that. The other helo, the Sea Sprite from the Elliot, I'm considering doing some ASW, but the challenge is going to be to actually get those things detected, those submarines, because the weather is pretty bad. The sea state making it quite difficult to get some detection on submarines, because the sea is noisy. And as the sea gets noisier, the submarines are going to have an advantage. Doesn't mean we won't be doing ASW, but I'm in no hurry to go anywhere and run into a torpedo. As for the task force, we are already pretty much in the rendezvous point Zulu, so I'm going to slow this formation down to a head 1/3, and I'm going to preemptively have everybody go and active sonar everything that they can find. Helo is now up. Let's say I want to have about a 10-mile no subzone, so that's where I'm going to start searching. We have a new contact. I suspect that that might be our ally. Yep, there's the Narvik. This is an Oslo-class warship, frigate type. A couple of RIM 7s on the stern, aka the Sparrow. Sea Sparrow, to be exact. We have a couple of Penguins aboard, the AGM-119. We even have a submarine mortar. Basically a depth charge weapon from the 1960s. We have a couple of guns, and that's about it. Now she's gonna get into the rendezvous point, and in the meanwhile I'm gonna start laying some sonar buoys out there at a very narrow spread, because I don't think I'll get a whole lot of range out of them in this weather. So I'm gonna keep that range to about 2 to 3 miles, making sure that submarines cannot slip by. Alright, let's wait for the Oslo to get here. A little later, the Oslo is almost with us, and I've detected this thing. Interestingly, it is neutral and has agreed to identify itself. It's an Okean. It's a Soviet spy ship. You can see it's proudly flying the Soviet naval ensign. I wonder if this is going to be a problem. I am pretty confident at this point that it's detected us. There we go. Priority signal from Narvik, callsign Viking 322, Task Force Links. We report arrival on station at Rendezvous Point Zulu, all systems operational, crew at full readiness, awaiting tasking orders, information, integration instructions, prepared to assume assigned station within TF 24.1 links, and execute Operation Odin's Shield directives. Okay, so welcome to the formation Narvik. I'm going to have you join the formation of the links. And let's see where a good position for you would be. Because I'm thinking your defenses aren't spectacular. So potentially slightly more towards the rear guard. If I want to do some offensive actions with her, her penguins are going to be another layer of issues. Because they only got a, what, 20? Not even a 20-mile range. They got a 19-mile range. So you're going to have to close in a lot if you want to get there. As for now, I don't really mind her just covering the rear of the Texas here. New message traffic received. Skill 21 reports arrival on station in Kattegat AO. All systems operational, crew ready, awaiting tasking orders, prepare to assume stations. Okay, what do we have there? Skilled 21. Hello up there. P3 Orion. ASW loadout, capable of going after submarines. Unfortunately, not so much against surface ships. We do have a new ship here. Agrees to comply. It's another merchant. Over here we got another merchant, the Krautwagen. That's about it. We also got... Okay. We have a neutral Soviet ship coming in. It's a warship. It seems to be sort of covered by the Tu-95 Recon. Oh, please don't be anything too sizable, because I simply don't have the firepower to kill that. I can probably deal with a Kiev. I can deal with a Slava. A Kirov is something quite dangerous. I can deal with a Sovremenia and I can deal with an Orel. Depending on how well they launch aircraft. What do we have here? 1,000 feet up. Soviet aircraft. Identify yourself. Unknown. Things are looking absolutely ready to turn into a massive flash fire here. A big, big, big flashpoint of a battle. Sonobuoy spread almost ready. Now that Lynx is combined, I have set them to ahead 2/3, so I'm going to reach that perimeter a bit faster than I might like. I'm going to drop those last sonobuoys. That's 2 there. I'm going to go for another 2 out front, and then we're going to RTB and go pick up more sonobuoys. The other bird from Elliot can take a point and make sure that we don't get ambushed. As for Skjold, I'm going to have Skjold 2-1 go to 20,000 feet and add her radar to the image that we have. Oh, hello. Meager, meager, meager. Okay. Fishing boat. I was expecting something much, much, much more dangerous and potentially hostile, but one fishing boat and probably a bunch of their friends, I don't really mind. Oh, it's a Sov. Okay. It's a Sovremeni. Alright, Sovremeni capabilities. SAN-7, capable of going out to 13 miles, so establish a 1-3 mile no-fly zone. Capable of hurting me quite badly with a couple of sunburns. Limited range though, 48. So let's set a second range circle up on them, 48 mile range. Which definitely makes my penguins look rather stupid. 48.7, fine. We do have the other one on radar, but I don't know what it is. And yes, I can change the view, but I don't want to really cheat that much like that. Aside from that, guns, self-defense systems, and ASW systems. Isn't this aircraft flying a bit too close to Sweden here? The Soviet bird, 7009? I don't trust it. I don't trust that. New surface contacts up. 7017, 7015, 7016. Speed is too high to be a civilian. 19 knots. Agrees to comply. It's a Komar. Does not respond. Agrees to comply. That's a Grisha. They are... Oh, there's a bunch more. They're out in force today. That's a fishing boat and another fishing boat. What, and another fishing boat? Yep. Just a formation of fishing boats. Grisha 3, not that big of a deal. It is mostly capable of going after surface ships. Oh, sorry, submarines. The Komar, however, is something quite more nefarious. She's capable of throwing out SSN-2, the Styx, with a 21.6 mile range. And her course is 303. Which puts her awfully close to my formation. That has me a little suspicious. Second Sea Sprite from Elliot is up. We're going to drop our second to last sonobuoy. I'm definitely welcoming the arrival of Skjold 21 over here, because her radar is more powerful than the radar that I have on the helicopters. How did you disappear? Alright, as we're this close to the ocean, I'm going to say I've been detected. So we're going to just turn all of our radars on and make sure that we get a bit more of a clear sensor picture. There you are. For now, you're neutral. For now. Let's see how long that persists. Is this just a Sovereign and their friend, or is there something else out there? Have a look at that. Over there we got the other, what I'm assuming is a fisherman. This is most likely a neutral 7014. Agrees to comply. Yeah, it's a merchant. What are you, another fishing boat? Yep, it's a formation of fishing boats. Not that big of a problem. But they can find themselves on the receiving end of a harpoon if they actually get too close to, for example, some other not-so-friendly ships. A cannon? What are you doing out there? Isn't that well inside of Sweden's territorial waters? Let alone economic exclusion zone? Why are you here? Which one? 7024. Oh, Sovereign just got a third. For so long as these guys are actually going to be talking to me, I would like to know what they are. Cash-in. Rogov. This is a rather specialized ship. That's a landing ship. You don't use that to go on vacation. So, what are the Soviets planning? What is their move? Based on their current trajectory, I would say they're going to land right over there in Denmark. Or they're going to take this. With that, I suppose you could close that strait if you wanted to. Lock off the entire Baltic Sea. Of course, yes, you still got Germany to worry about. I gotta say, on Steam, the briefing for this whole mission chain looks really good. And there are a bunch of these missions out there already. So if this one, this prologue, does well, both in the amount of views that it gets, as well as the type of mission that it turns out to be, I'm probably gonna cover the rest of them as well. Identify yourself. Okay, another Okean! Good lord. Do you people not have enough information yet? Okay. Let's assume it's going to turn into a shooting war. This cannon is the least of my worries. It cannot really do much against me. So, low on the target threat matrix, we have a Cash-in class destroyer, which is mostly AA. It is capable of going after you as a ship if it really wants to, but only at 12-mile range. So, low priority. Sovereign, something quite higher because of those SSN-22s. Rogov, low because it can't really hurt me. But what I do want to keep a track of is that Komar and their most likely partner in crime, 7017. Because I don't really trust this thing just to be sailing around here. I suspect that's going to turn into something that will actually want to shoot me. Now, there were reports of submarine incursions in Sweden, but Sweden has a rather sizable coastline here, making it a bit difficult to start sweeping for subs. That means I'm going to put more sonobuoys into the water here, and just see if we can find something in front of the task force. Just keep fishing. New message from Otter39. They have maintained continuous radar and visual contact with a Soviet amphibious task group transiting the Danish Straits. The formation comprises multiple landing ships escorted by surface combatants. Yeah, we know about those. That's the Sovereign friends. At 0230 Zulu, the Soviet force was located approximately 70 nautical miles south of Laeso Island. Proceeding at high speed on a northerly course, observed activities include the preparation of landing craft and assembly of personnel on deck, indicating imminent amphibious operations. Based on current trajectory and prep, Otter 39 assesses Laeso Island as the probable target for landing operations. And falls in line with their course. Immediate alert and deployment of NATO rapid response to Laeso Island is recommended. Enhanced aerial and maritime surveillance in the Kattegat region. Preparations of defensive measures to counter potential amphibious assault. Action requested. Immediate confirmation of receipt and directives for coordinated response. What I'm noticing here on the map is that this Okean has suddenly turned red. So am I allowed to shoot this thing now? Ultra 39 is on station, maintaining continuous radar, blah blah. This is the same message. Ultra 39 remains available for immediate tasking. Nice. Okay. Here we go. New message. Intercepted between Kaliningrad HQ and an amphib task group. References objective K21 and package Stormfront suggests a planned beachhead seizure of Laeso Island. Satellite and airborne decreased due to overcast situation. Sorry, overcast conditions and sea clutter. We have a Krivak class air defense frigate, a Borestvenik class. Okay, not even sure what that is. HDMS Rodston maintains stern pursuit of Soviet group in heavy fog. We have no AWACS available. The Tu-95RT that we detected is over the Central Baltic, confirmed. They're likely intending to secure this. Maintain a shouting posture. Avoid direct engagement unless hostile intent is confirmed. Yeah, we're still not allowed to shoot anything. Okay. What do we got here? Here's Hawk, which is probably the one that's chasing. Oh, please don't turn hostile. So I just had Skjold over there checking out this second Komar. There's a Grish and an Okean. Contacts are red, but for right now, they're not shooting me yet. That doesn't necessarily mean that I trust them. Especially with all of these bastards. The Sovereign Many has to know that I'm here. Identify yourself. No response. Speed 1000. Ooh. Gunfire. Hawk is under attack. Hold. We have a couple of Penguin Mark II anti-ship missiles out to 19 miles. If you're going to start shooting me, I'm going to shoot you right the fuck back. Before you kill me. We're now in an active shooting war. That means all targets are fair game. I'm going to kill that Okean off. Pretty straightforward. That's going to take, what, 2 harpoons? If we can do it with Sea Sparrow, that's not advisable. If we can do it with a standard missile, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm going to send 2 standard missiles against this Okean. Here I'm going to start blinding them. In the meanwhile, we're going to kill off this Grisha and the Okean on the other side to make sure that they can't spot me. This is pretty much in line with what I established as my threat levels. The Sovereign is the highest threat. And then we have the Komars, which are also coming in here. So those will also take a missile. It's going to take the Lucians probably 1 shot. So I'm going to tell you to go up to altitude again. I need you to turn around, get me some radar information. Lucians, we're going to shoot 1 missile at each target. 1-1. This way I intend to do grave harm against those Komars before they can get close. This one, lower on the threat level. They can spot me, yes, but at the moment I don't see them actually having any shooting platforms capable of getting me. Oh, there's something else. Small attack boat. The Hawk over here is doing some damage. Yeah, there you are. Sovereign is trying to fight back. So far, rather unsuccessful. Nope. Went for the chaff. Ceasefire. Activate your radar. Oh, crap. Damcon? Well, you're still alive. You're still functional. Long may that continue, but I rather doubt it will. Anti-submarine torpedoes can only do anti-submarine warfare, so yeah, we'll just shoot the rest of the missiles at the Sov. And that's the safer way to go. Bloody hell, where the fuck do you think you're going? We're done. Okay, at least I got some missiles off, but they're all chasing ghosts. We still have 2 penguins in the air. At the moment, we also have 2 harpoons in the air, the second one presently being launched from Lucians. I'm going to tell Lucians to also engage these when the time comes, but for now they can't do much. The Komars, much bigger problem. And the cannon, very low on the threat matrix. We have hit the Noshtushum thing. This guy. We've hit them once. And this second penguin might stand a chance because it's not going for chaff. It's not getting intercepted, and that's a second hit. If the Sovereign dies, that would be a big win for me, because those sunburns are the most deadly weapons that they currently carry. This penguin is going to try and get all the way northwest, but it can't actually get there because it doesn't have the fuel. It only got range 19 miles, so it's not a problem. This Okian has been killed off. At this point, I think I'm out of sonobuoys again, so we're going to go home. The other helo has already touched down on Elliot and can cycle again in about 11 minutes. Will definitely take a while getting here, because I'm doing it at a speed of 12 miles an hour. So I'll be here in an hour. That means I got plenty of time to get the second helicopter up. Unfortunately, this Hawk class went down, but I'm thinking the Sovereign might go down with it. At the very least, she'll have substantial damage to various of her systems, making her much less of a threat. I'm so tempted to blow these things out of the water. I just don't need to. And that's the problem. I just don't need to. If only you could load these things out with a different loadout, that'd be great. Actually, I can have the Narvik intercept them with the penguins. The Grisha is capable of defeating some inbound missiles. They got that missile launcher hidden below decks. And that's the only launcher they got. Komars are still coming in at 28 knots. And 7? Okay. The cannon's still down there. There were aircraft around, but I haven't seen those in a while. Which isn't necessarily a good sign. We saw that bear come in from the southeast. Where did that go? I am running my radar, but I don't see it. Curious. This is the part where I'm going to end the video. This is because the average view time, as you can see on screen, is still only 10.5 minutes on all of my videos. So that means I can make 1 hour long videos, but people just tend not to watch them. You might very well be the exception, because hey, you're still here at the end of the video. The next part, or rather next parts, are already up for the members. If you want to become a member, hit the join button. If you don't worry, I'm not paywalling the content, I'm just giving members early access. So thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and either I'll see you immediately on part 2, or I'll see you in a few days when it is up.